Good day everyone. So, our lesson for today is all about soil pollutants and purification. So, what comes into our mind when we heard about soil pollutants and purification? So, 'di ba ang pumapasok agad sa isipan natin kapag naririnig natin tong lesson na to um, tungkol sa lupa, syempre from its title, soil, and pollutants, which means pagkalason. So, in this lesson, we'll talk about um, the pollutions in soil and the ways on how to purify it. And the objectives of these lessons are enumerate the types and pollutants of soil, and number two, cite the ways to purify the soil. Okay, so what is soil? So it says here, the soil is the part of the earth's surface which includes disintegrated rock, humus, inorganic and organic materials that provides the medium for plants' growth. The soil is usually generated when rocks break up into other constituent parts. When a range of different forces acts on the rocks, they break into smaller parts from the soil, to form the soil. These forces also include the impact of wind, water, and the reaction from the soil. So, basically, it says here that sand comes from rocks. But how? So, here, um, soil are formed by um, it is formed dahil sa pagka-break ng rocks. So, kumbaga isipin nyo, yung rock, itong malaking rock na to, it breaks into smaller pieces. So, isipin mo yun, yung rock na yun is, kumbaga mapapowderize siya, parang ganun. So, na-break ang rocks because of the impact of wind, water, and reactions from salts. The soil is found in layers which are arranged during the formation of soil. These layers are called horizons. The sequence of layers is the soil profile. The layers of soil can easily be observed by their color and size of particles. The main layers of the soil are topsoil, subsoil, and the parent rock. So, meron siyang layers. Yes. So, soils are a composition of mineral particles 45%, organic matter 5%, air 25%, and water 25%. So, yung soil daw, so binubuo siya ng 45% ng mineral particles at saka 5% ng organic matter at saka tubig na 25%. So, brown earths are fertile and very suitable for agriculture. Their suitability for agriculture are due to their characteristics of good texture, dark color, and pH value. There are various types of soil that undergo diverse environmental pressures. The soil is mainly classified by its texture, proportions, and different forms of organic and mineral compositions. So, meron tayong iba't ibang uri ng soil. So, number one there is the sandy soil. So, sandy soils are light, dry, warm, low in nutrients, and often acidic. So, when we say acidic, it has a low pH as opposed to a base which has a higher pH. The first type of soil is sand. So, yun daw ang pinakaunang uri ng ating soil. And it is they are found at the edges of the continents including northern parts of Europe, North America, and etc. And the second type of soil is the silt soil. So silt soils are fertile, light but moisture retentive and easily compacted. It is known to have much smaller particles compared to the sandy soil and is made up of rock and other mineral particles which are smaller than sand and larger than clay. So when we say moisture retentive, it retains some moisture but not too much. So kumbaga sakto lang yung nare-retain nitong moisture. And silt soil slowly fill in places like wetlands, lakes, and harbors. Okay, so that's our second type of soil. The third one is the clay soil. So what is clay soil? Clay soils are heavy, high in nutrients, wet and cold in winter, and bake dry in summer. It is the smallest particles amongst the other two types of soil. So kumbaga, kung ikukumpara mo itong pangatlong uri natin ng soil, so doon sa naunang dalawa, mas smaller particles daw itong si clay soil. And it is tightly packed together. And clay soil, it is commonly presented near freshwater, lakes, ponds, or rivers. So that's our third type. The fourth type of soil is the loam soil. So loam soil is the fourth type of soil. It is a combination of sand, silt, and clay. So ito pala ang tawag doon sa kombinasyon ng tatlong nauna, such that the beneficial properties from each is included. For instance, it has the ability to retain moisture and nutrients. Hence, it is more suitable for farming. So, kumbaga itong loamy soil, ito daw yung ginagamit nilang, sabihin nating kadalasang ginagamit nila sa pagtatanim. For example, sa palayan, ganyan, sa mga taniman ng gulay at marami pang iba. So, that's our four types of soil. So, now let's talk about soil pollution. So, soil pollution refers to the contamination of soil with anomalous concentrations of toxic substances. So, it is a serious environmental concern since it harbors many health hazards that are harmful or toxic to human beings and other living organisms. So, just like what I said before, soil pollution, so pollution, pagkalason, and soil. So, ito yung pagkalason ng lupa. So, soil pollution can be broadly classified into two categories. Number one, naturally caused soil pollution. This can occur due to the differential deposition of soil by the atmosphere. Another manner in which this type of soil pollution can occur is via the transportation of soil pollutants with precipitation water. So, example of this, perchlorates can be formed in soils containing chlorine and certain metals during a thunderstorm. And another one, anthropogenic soil pollution. These are caused by human activity like excessive or improper use of pesticides, excessive industrial activity, poor management, or inefficient disposal of waste. So, in this in here, there are pollutants that contaminate soil. So, some of the most hazardous soil pollutants are xenobiotics. So, xenobiotics, it is formed by two Greek words which are xenos, which means foreigner, and bios, which means life. So, Several xenobiotics are known to be carcinogens. The different types of pollutants that are found in contaminated soil are listed in this subsection. Heavy metals. The presence of heavy metals such as lead and mercury in abnormally high concentrations in soils can cause it to become highly toxic to human beings. Some metals that can be classified as soil pollutants are tabulated below. So, the toxic metals that cause the pollution on soil are here: arsenic, antimony, mercury, lead, thallium, zinc, nickel, beryllium, copper, selenium, chromium, and cadmium. These metals can originate from several sources such as mining activities, agricultural activities, electronic waste, and medical waste. So, let's move on to soil purification. So, soil remediation is a process where the contaminated soil is either removed or purified using different means of approaches for soil purification. Several technologies have been developed to tackle soil remediation. Several technologies have been developed to tackle soil remediation. Some important several technologies some important strategies followed for the decontamination of polluted soil are listed below. Excavation and subsequent transportation of polluted soils to remote uninhabited locations. Extraction of pollutants via thermal remediation. The temperature is raised in order to force the contaminants into the vapor phase, after which they can be collected through vapor extraction. And bioremediation involves the use of microorganisms to break down the contaminants within the soil. Phytoremediation involves the use of plants to reduce, degrade, or remove toxic residue from the soil. And lastly, mycoremediation involves the use of fungi for the accumulation of heavy metal. So that are the examples of soil purification. So that's all for our lesson for today, and thank you for listening po.